When I heard Doom Eternal got pushed back, I was probably one of the few happy people out there. I mean, did you guys play Rage 2? Yeah, it was dumb, mindless fun, but the story was also a mindless backwash of the original. So yeah, I was glad to hear it got pushed back in hopes we didn't get another half-assed game. If you like Rage 2, that's all your preference and you might not like my opinion. Either way, this is about Doom Eternal. I grew up on Doom 1993, that was my very first game, so Doom runs deep in these veins. Hell, I even have the Sigil Collector's hand signed by John Romero himself. But the question of the hour is Doom Eternal worth $60? Well, I'm about to tell you. My name is Tanner, and this is For Your Money, a different kind of review. Now let's start with the story, and before I get there, this review is going to be based on this game's campaign. I'll talk about the multiplayer right at the end, I'll tell you why, and then I'm going to score it. Now I can't believe I'm saying this, but holy shit, Doom Eternal has actual cutscenes. And not some cheap, here's some badass scenes of the Doomslayer either. There is literal background of the Doomslayer and cutscenes portraying the current events. Doom Eternal is about killing the Hell Priest, preventing the apocalypse, and saving the human race. Over 60% of Earth's population has been abolished thanks to the Hell spawns, and the rest of the population has either been shipped into space to colonize on Mars, or they're running rampant on Earth until, well, they die. A lot of this story comes from lore. Some of the lores I found interesting were the audio recordings by Elena Richardson, who talks about studying the Doomslayer. It gives us insight on her and her colleagues' thoughts of the Doomslayer, what you are, why you can do the intense things you can do, etc. Now, this is just one of many series of lore you find throughout the game, and I would say all this lore is worth looking for, because even the biggest Doom fan out there, I think you'll be pretty surprised about what you find out. Overall, Doom kept me interested, wanting me to know more about the whole Hell invasion, who the Doomslayer really is, and where the hell he came from. Yeah, this game does make you ask a lot of questions, but I am interested in seeing other gamers' theories of the Doomslayer and the characters surrounding the apocalypse. Eternal brings back some known faces that I believe players will be excited about, but not all of them are friendly faces, so let's get to the gameplay. Doom Eternal takes all we know and love about Doom and injects it with whatever the hell steroids the Doomslayer's taken. This game is bloodier, faster paced, and even more relentless than previous titles. Let's start with how this one differs from its predecessors. Most noticeably is the fact that there's actual tactics in killing enemies. Rather than just shoot until they're dead, it's smart to find their weak spots and figure out how to shoot them. Take the Pinky Monster for example. The entire front of it is armored. Sure, you can shoot it with all your ammo and then yeah, it'll eventually die, but you don't have that kind of ammo to spare. Instead, you're going to want to shoot it in its tail. In order to do that, you have to dodge one of its ram attacks close to a wall so it gets discombobulated, and then now you have the chance to kill him with 1 to 2 shots with a super shotgun rather than 20. Or there are some enemies you can't even injure until you're prompted with a green light indicating you can now counterattack them. So don't waste your ammo on these enemies because you will waste every round you have, and honestly, in this Doom, I found myself out of ammo all the damn time. Luckily, the chainsaw generates one use for you, allowing you to fill up on ammo when you chainsaw somebody, or you can just find gas canisters around, but it automatically generates one. Another big change I thought was a good direction to go with was how much platforming there was in this game. Jumping from wall to wall or wall to ledge, swinging from pipes to give you a height advantage, so maybe you'll finally reach that secret. Or maybe you just weren't quite looking for one, but you noticed one in an area you can now explore. And best of all, you're jumping literal pits of lava that sprung up from the depths of hell. And since they added the dashing system, you're going to have combos like jump from a wall to a pipe, swing across an abysmal pit, and dash through the breakable wall. All of that is happening at Doom pace, so it's act now and then be impressed later. Like a real good rush. Doom has always felt like a game dedicated to muscle memory, and this game proves my point. 20 enemies come rushing at you, what do? Split-second weapon choice decisions have to be made. I can't tell you how many times I found myself killing crowds of demons and realizing afterwards, holy shit, that was badass. And if you're having trouble getting the hang of the gameplay, there's a home base you go to after every mission called Fortress of the Doom. And here you have a training room so you can sharpen up your skills for the real fights. Now while also here you can unlock different Doomslayer suits, including my personal favorite, the original 93 outfit. Here you can also view your collected items such as toys, album covers, and your arsenal of weapons. In game you will also acquire sentinel batteries that can be spent on the doors that give you weapon upgrades, different abilities, suit upgrades, and as I just mentioned, that's how you also get the new Doomslayer outfits, or old ones. The best part of Doom to me is how you play is on you. My personal choice was hardest enemies first and save the weakest for health and ammo fill-ups. Glory kills are a great way to get health drops, and chainsaw kills are a great way to get ammo drops, and they do drop some health. Luckily, id Software seems to have thought of everything. If you're low on armor, you now have a flamethrower on your back, hit an enemy with it, kill them, and armor is practically bleeding out of them. If you get overwhelmed with big crowds of enemies, you also have ice grenades allowing you to freeze enemies, so now you can get away and resupply, or say fuck it and take your chances to kill all of them. Fun fact, 9 out of every 10 demons in this game are listening to the same metal soundtrack as you, and they're in one big mosh pit killing each other until you walk through the door and they realize they all have the same amount of hate for you, and all hell breaks loose. What's good for that? Along with the ice bomb, you have an alternate grenade, and this will honestly do damn good damage, and if it doesn't kill them, most of them will be locked and ready for you to perform a glory kill. id Software did a great job giving players many options on the battlefield. Finding ruins is another way for you to have more options available. For example, you can unlock the ability to slow time while in air. This is super useful when you're swinging from pipes and there are enemies in the air. You just slow down time, and now you're playing the adult version of Duck Hunt. I like to use the slow down time while using the Super Shotgun's chain alternate fire, and as you would reel into an enemy, you could blow the head off another enemy nearby, or maybe you just want the pace of the action to be even faster. In that case, you can get an upgrade that gives you a boost in speed after every glory kill. Upgrades play a huge role in this game, as you can tell. You have Predator suit upgrades, ability upgrades, as well as the obvious weapon upgrades, giving you 2 alternate fire modes for every weapon. Well, except for one, but does the big fucking gun really need any upgrades? And of course, you can upgrade all the alternate fire modes on the guns. On the topic of weapons, Eternal brings back some classic weapons, but also adds a couple new ones. My personal favorite that I was excited for since the trailer was the sword. That thing absolutely wrecks enemies. It will turn a cyber demon into mincemeat for your next family dinner. This is a great arsenal of weapons that have been worked very well. In every Doom, my least favorite gun was always the plasma cannon, but how they worked and balanced the guns, it actually turned out to be one of my favorites in this one. Only gun I never used was a pistol, but I mean, come on, am I really going to fight demons with a pistol? Especially a boss fight? This game had a good amount of boss fights, which had me all excited because I was personally disappointed in the 2016 Doom when it came to the lack of boss fights in it. But here they doubled the amount of boss fights and made sure they felt like a real challenge for someone even like the Doomslayer. The best part is all the fights felt different due to the methods you had to use. No boss will be killed using the same tactics, and that's because they force you to use different ones. These boss battles are where my best memories of this game come from, and honestly, that's how I believe it should be. Not only was it the gameplay that made these fights fun, but the way the bosses were designed were pretty damn intimidating. But before I get to the design of Doom, I'll mention the only bug I encountered in this game, and that was enemies not spawning. In order to get to the next area of a mission, you have to eliminate all the enemies, and on my third playthrough of the game, I encountered enemies not spawning for the first and only time. But other than that, I had no bugs in this game, so let's go ahead and talk about the design, being sound, graphics, and level. Graphics first. Doom has never displeased. 2016 Doom, that game looked good as hell. id Software knows how to make a game look good and visually popping. Though I wasn't the biggest fan of Rage 2, there's no denying the fact that design is worth a mention. From the levels to the characters, id Software wanted to bring Doom to life. But one thing that's worth mentioning is most of the attention is given to the foreground and everything in the background is just kind of there. And I'm going to be honest and say that I didn't notice a lot of these details my first time through because everything about this game is in your face. So I mean, genuinely, you're not going to notice anything in the background other than what the cutscenes show you. And this game has some good looking cutscenes. I was on the Xbox One X, so 4K really brought out the character detailing. Now, I cut my resolution to 1080p and I was still just as impressed with the character details, but not only that, I was impressed with the game's environments as well. Now, before I get into the environments, I do want to make one complaint, and it's picky, but I'm going to do it. We're in the year 2020. That shit just sounds futuristic. Why in the God's name can I not see the Doomslayer's legs? I mean, really, is this motherfucker just floating arms and that's why he can't die? Alright. Now with that out of the way, every level in this game is unique. One moment you'll see lava spewing from demons' faces to the skies being lit with hellfire and lightning. Then the next level you're seeing abandoned castles overran with lush green growing out of the walls. Eternal is like every Doom I've played. They've always had an upper hand at lighting. Even in Doom 93, that game had great lighting for the time. Doom 3 was the exact same thing. Dark rooms lit by pentagrams on the floors and or walls. id Software takes the knowledge of these games and applies it to Doom Eternal for one hell of an experience. The level diversity is one to brag about for sure, and with the level variance comes mostly unique puzzles. Puzzles that require some thinking and speed, and they don't feel slopped in there either. They feel natural, not tedious, and oddly rewarding. What's the reward? A new wave of demons to slay, of course. Now, graphics and level design are great, but does the sound of the game complement all that hard work? Yes it does. There's quite a bit of voice acting in here, and if we're being honest, it's hard these days not to have good voice acting. I mean, yes, there are games that do have bad voice acting, and I know, but Doom is far from one of those. Plus, the goofy dialogue from the UAC AI you encounter through some of the levels adds to the whole experience.
No one is born a sinner. You have to work hard to achieve success.
She nonchalantly talks shit about you, as well as tries to convince people to be friendly to the demons because, hell, why not? Get you a demon best friend. As far as sound effects go, I'll say this. I have no idea what it sounds like to chainsaw a person in half, but I wouldn't be surprised if id Software had some dirty secrets, because damn, that shit sounds brutal in this game. Every sound you hear produced in this game, from shooting someone in half to performing a glory kill, just sounds raw, nasty, and filled with so much damn anger. Doom has always had a killer soundtrack as well, inspired by Slayer, Metallica, and Pantera. Now I get it, a lot of people don't like metal, and the biggest complaint I ever hear people talk about is vocals. Well, guess what? Doom's soundtrack has almost zero vocals minus some choir humming. Now, I'm sure we can all appreciate a good metal instrumental. After all, even if you hate Led Zeppelin, can't you just appreciate Moby Dick? Here's some clips to show off the all-around design of Doom Eternal. Okay, so why did I choose to talk about the multiplayer last? Because Doom has always been about and will always be about a good single player experience, and multiplayer will come second. Battle mode, as they call it, is a 1v2 mode where one person is the Doomslayer and two others play as demons. In order to win, you have to be more than halfway decent at this game, and that goes for playing as a demon or the Doomslayer. If you think the campaign is fast paced, then I promise you, you have another thing coming. Being the Doomslayer means you have to worry about two other players who are controlling powerful demons who are as just fast-paced as you, while also worrying about the AI demons that are just on the battlefield. And the AI aren't just imps. No, you're going to be fighting barons of hell while trying to eliminate a team of two. It's not only your job to kill them, but you must stay alive too. And just as the campaign, you're going to chainsaw and glory kill enemies, but be aware, the team of two playing as demons can block your loot. So in short, beat the damn campaign before playing this, otherwise you might just rage quit and you're never going to play a damn good story. If you're going to be playing as a demon, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be rough if you don't have a friend playing who is good at communicating, because from my time playing without a friend, no one was in voice chat. And this hurts your cause due to the fact that the perks that you pick at the end of every round is meant to help each other. Maybe one of you has a perk to heal one another, so you both don't need it. The other person should pick instant revive or something like that. But that won't happen if there's no communication on the demon side. Now, how do you win a match in battle mode? Well, as the Doomslayer, you have to kill both demon players. Once you kill one, you have 15 seconds until they respawn. And in that 15-second window, you have to kill the other demon. Both demons must be dead within that same 15-second window, or they're just going to respawn. They do, however, respawn with half health, but that doesn't change the fact that there's still AI on the floor, proving to be a real pain in the ass. And as the demons, you have to obviously kill the Doomslayer. The first to 3 rounds wins. It was a blast once I got the hang of it. At first, I hated battle mode. In fact, whenever I wrote this review, I was talking trash about it. But then I decided to push the review back, spend a lot of time with battle mode, and now I love it. But in no way should this game's PvP mode sway you into buying or not buying this game. Now, speaking of buying or not buying, here's my verdict on Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is without a doubt the most fun I've had in a game in a long while. This is one of those games where you can pick up a controller or hop on your mouse and keyboard and waste an hour and not even notice. It was in fact a phenomenal gaming experience, one that should be enjoyed by everybody. So Doom Eternal is priced at $60, and hell, it is worth the full 60 smackaroos. If you want a Doom that appreciates the roots it came from, but also enhancing them at the same time, then this is the game you need in your library. I hope this review is helpful. If so, why not hit the subscribe button? If you didn't like it one bit, hit that thumbs down. Till next time, fellas.